So Eric Sprott covered, a couple weeks ago, the lack of exploration in the industry and the fact that over the past 10 years, kind of the mining cycle, where gold wasn't doing as great as it had before, mining wasn't as profitable. So exploration wasn't really getting the capital that it needed. Now with gold prices and mining, just mineral prices at highs, he was saying there's a huge value for companies that really pushed through and did exploration, these medium-sized exploration, but also producing companies. Anything you want to touch on in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a great point, and that's what's happening. Gold for the last 10 years has not been in favor, right? It kind of hovered somewhere between 12 and $1,400, and it just so the explorers weren't getting out there. It just wasn't that cost effective, and it was hard to raise money. Nobody wanted to fund anything, and that's the other reason why we're very excited about our project at Dome Mountain, because not only are we focused on moving it forward to make a production decision, but 90% of the property has been unexplored. So we know, we have 15 known high-grade veins, but then there's, we're almost 12,000 hectares. I mean, it's a huge property, and 90% of it has never been explored. They didn't go beyond that because because of the lack of funds. So yeah, I absolutely agree with that, and that's why you're going to see a lot of activity, from our end, a significant drill program and ongoing, year round. Because if not now, then when? Right? This is the time to do it.
Again, just to get your thoughts, I think extremely interesting. He even touched on, and if you wanted to give your points, he said, now as well, mines or exploration companies that they hit but didn't hit a feasible amount back when gold was 1200. You're seeing a lot of people revisit some of those properties. What's your kind of take on that?
Yeah, lots of projects are getting revived because of exactly what you just said, because they weren't profitable at 12, 13, 1400 gold, but at 1900, at 2000, they look very interesting. And also a lot of them have silver associated with it, just like we do, right? So now with silver prices in the mid 20s and looking like they're going to go higher, that adds a lot of value, as well. So absolutely, and hey, man, it's Eric Sprott, right? He's one of the greatest thought leaders in the precious metals industry. So
Yeah.
his word is lots of wisdom there for sure.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned silver. He loves his silver. He gets a lot of, I guess, press about the silver investments he makes, but he's talking a lot about copper. He thinks copper is 2 years out from really seeing a huge move with all the electric vehicles, catalytic converters, all this stuff. Anything you want to mention there?
I totally agree. You know what? I happen to drive a Tesla myself. I love the Tesla, and electric cars take more than 4 times the copper that regular cars take. So that's going to be a big driver. And then of course all these governments, all broke all around the world. One of the ways they love to generate to stimulate the economy is by building infrastructure, which puts people back to work. So that requires a lot of copper. So I agree with them 100%. In fact, I'm working on a project right now with some very, very senior people who are at the tail end of their careers. These are people from BHP, Anglo, some of the biggest, Rio Tinto, and it's a huge copper project in Chile, and that's I've got that in the pipeline. So anyway, stay tuned for that.
Good little teaser. Hopefully some good updates coming. Well, either way, thanks. I think this was a great video, good little thought leadership, off the backs of Eric Sprott, but really, kind of saying what you're seeing in the industry as well, which is great.